Hi, I'm Andy Jones. Welcome to Art Talk. I have literally taught thousands of people to paint, and if you have any desire to paint, I can show you how to do it. This is our what number episode of our second season?
Put me on the spot. I'm gonna throw it up to a graphic.
So that was Stephen White, who edits these, and he's now indicated that he's going to put a graphic somewhere up here. Today on Art Talk, we are going to be painting a brightly colored pumpkin, much like the Great Pumpkin. So I'm doing this on an 8x8 canvas panel, and to make life easier for me, I have attached my canvas panel to what I call my handheld easel so that I don't get paint all over my hands. And I just made some loops of tape and taped the canvas panel down. And you can see that I've already got my design on my canvas, and we will put a link to the downloadable pumpkin design in the description box below the video. So we are going to start out by painting our background, and we're going to use 3 different colors to do our background. We're going to use a color called Deep Viridian, and we're going to use some pure black, and we're also going to use some new leaf green, which is a bright kind of yellow-green color. And I'm going to use a Folk Art Select firm bristle brush in a 1-inch size to do this background. And we're going to start off by picking up our Deep Viridian and a little bit of black just to darken that color a little bit. And we're just going to paint in our background right around our pumpkin. And so we are officially in spooky season while we're filming this. Stephen, do you have big Halloween plans?
I have a couple of Halloween parties that I'm going to. I think I'm going to a concert on Halloween.
So a full spooky season.
I'm jam-packed.
Yeah, I can tell.
Well, let me ask you this, knowing what the answer is going to be already. What are you doing for Halloween?
I am turning off the porch lights and acting like Halloween isn't happening. That's my go-to Halloween.
You don't want to hand out candy with Vera?
Vera is not so much in the handing out candy mood.
She would rather get the treats herself rather than hand them out.
But you know, she's got to have special treats. So, and she doesn't like inexpensive treats. You know, no milk bones for her.
No.
Princess has got to have her freeze-dried salmon. Those who are tuning in who may not know who Vera is my blind Saint Bernard, and she is Daddy's little princess. All right, so I'm just putting this background in with the Deep Viridian and a little bit of pure black picked up, and you want to paint right out to the edge of your canvas. All right, so while I have this background that is still wet, just wipe my brush off, and I'm going to pick up some of this new leaf green color and work it into my brush a little bit, and I'm going to just start to apply it to the canvas and blend it in. And if I start to move color where I don't want it, I'll just wipe my brush off and come back to this canvas and blend that color in a little bit more. And I want to do at least kind of 2 or 3 areas of this lighter green color. Now, Stephen, would I know the band you're going to see at your Halloween concert?
You would not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Enough said there.
I mean, they weren't formed in the 70s through the 80s, so, you know, slim chance.
Yeah. Okay. Now, we're almost done with the background, and before it gets too sticky, take a little bit more of my new leaf green and apply that with pressure, and then lighten up on the pressure as I blend this in. And while I'm blending this in, I want to make sure that you notice that I'm holding the brush more parallel to the canvas than I am holding it upright. That is going to make this blending a little easier.
Andy, did you ever dress up for Halloween?
I did. When I was young, my folks were very into Halloween, and so remember a few big costumes. We took giant balloons and covered them with paper mache And then my dad like wired up lights to battery packs so that they could have lighted up, lights that punch through. So we were all a family of aliens.
My mom did a similar thing, like with the lights, where she and my dad were jellyfish one year.
Very cool. Okay, Stephen, it is now time to paint the Great Pumpkin.
What makes it great?
It's just a tag off on Charlie
Got
Brown's
it.
Great
I
Pumpkin.
figured. I was trying to set you up for a bit there.
I'm sorry. You gotta be faster than that. So, have you seen the Great Pumpkin?
Yeah, I haven't watched it this year, but I usually do watch it every year. It's a classic.
It is. So I've put out hot saffron and burnt sienna on my palette, and I'm going to start by using the hot saffron to basically paint in this pumpkin. All right, so while I've got just 2 of my pumpkin sections painted, I'm going to pick up burnt sienna on one corner of the brush and blend that on the palette. And then I'm going to just put that burnt sienna like right in the kind of the crevice of this pumpkin section. And then I'm going to move over to the next section and repeat that.
My favorite part about kind of any Charlie Brown is, the main plot is Charlie Brown's trying to, get candy, or he's trying to like do something with his friends, and Snoopy is fighting an actual war in planes.
Lucy, she's just a jerk.
She's the worst.
She is the worst. Every time, Snoopy goes to kiss her, she like freaks out with the dog germs.
Yeah.
Like, enough, Lucy.
Yeah, grow up. What color orange was this?
This is hot saffron.
Do you think people are going to call you out that you're not using pumpkin orange?
They shouldn't. They can call me out for all sorts of other reasons, but not that. All right, now I'm just using a 3/4 inch flat brush here to kind of fill in the pumpkin.
Do you ever go buy the Halloween candy for yourself, even though you're not passing it out?
I'm not a real sweet eater, so I can forego the Halloween candy for myself, but what I can't forego is the Easter candy with the robin's eggs, and I don't know why they don't make like dinosaur eggs or something like that for Halloween.
Dragon eggs.
I did not watch House of Dragons either, nor Game of Thrones. You were not a Game of Thrones fan?
I watched House of the Dragon, but I haven't seen Game of Thrones.
Mercifully, I've not had to hear much about my not watching Game of Thrones, but, people watch what they watch on television.
For you, it's usually
some Nordic police procedural, to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I read my TV.
Yeah, I was trying to find those words, but you went ahead and self-snitched for me.
Yeah, I'm really, really bad about reading. Those Scandinavian countries, I'm telling you, they know how to do a procedural.
Nobody's doing it like them.
No, I mean, there's a whole category on my Fire Stick. You can just ask for Nordic Noir and, it starts serving you up all these different titles. And unfortunately, when they start serving up the titles, it's like, watch again, watch again, watch again. And I'm like, I've seen all
of it already.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite scary movie?
I suppose my favorite scary movie would probably be Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, I knew that. I did know that at some point.
Well, of course, I had a dog named Clarice, so that was probably a pretty dead giveaway.
Yeah.
All right, one more little section back here. And then we've got our pumpkin sort of based in there and shaded up a little bit. And I'm going to put some sunny yellow out on my palette. And now we're going to take some hot saffron and some sunny yellow and make a lighter orange color. And then we'll take a little bit of that excess paint off my brush before I start adding some highlights onto this pumpkin. All right, so you can see that I'm just putting this lighter orange color on and very lightly blending this color in. And on this center section of the pumpkin, I'm going to apply a bit more of this color and apply it further down the right side of this section. And we're not really going to worry about completely blending this in. I want to be able to see some of this lighter orange color, and you can still see where I've applied it. And we're going to keep it brighter toward the outside of the pumpkin. All right, so just about got that section with its first layer of highlighting on there. A little foreshadowing there, there's going to be more highlighting.
You?
I
Highlighting?
know. What can I say?
I'm breaking the mold here today. You know, it has been a minute since you painted a hydrangea.
It has been.
Maybe we need to take you off your hydrangea probation.
Ever since you turned me into the tiger wood of hydrangeas. I don't remember what episode that was in.
I forgot about that.
It's worth going back to see that little sight gag Stephen did. All right, so we're going to come back and start to really kind of highlight these three main sections of our pumpkin by picking up more of our sunny yellow. Just kind of apply that to this right side of this center section and bring that down. And then we're just going to add this color by sweeping it on. And we're really just going to let this just kind of rest on top. And we'll do the same thing on the next two sections. Did you know, Stephen, that in the Great Pumpkin movie or TV movie, that Linus, even though he didn't go trick-or-treating, got more candy than Charlie Brown did?
I believe it.
Because Charlie Brown just got rocks.
Mm-hmm.
And it must have been Lucy who asked for an extra piece of candy, and she gave that to Linus.
Justice for Charlie Brown.
But of course it wasn't, Lucy would not have asked for an extra piece of candy for Charlie Brown.
No.
All right, let's wipe our number 10 filbert out. And now we're going to pick up just some sunny yellow. And there may be a little orange left in our brush, but we got most of that out. And we're going to just start applying little kind of dabs of this lighter yellow color on our pumpkin. And I'm doing this with a fairly light touch so that we don't really blend this color in, but we just let it kind of rest on the surface. Now, Stephen, do you like pumpkin pie?
I used to not, but I do now. And I'm thankful that that was one of my 7-year taste bud updates. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm about to find out.
I say like every 7 years, your taste buds have like completely changed from where they were at the previous 7 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I like pumpkin pie now, where for a long time I didn't.
Well, that's good.
What about you?
Love pumpkin pie. Love sweet potato pie.
I still haven't made my way there with sweet potato. Sweet potato anything.
Well, sweet potato pie is very hard to distinguish the taste from pumpkin pie. So you're no sweet potato fries for you?
No. Yeah, no. I'll get there one day.
All right, so I think that's all we're going to do for the highlights on this pumpkin. And I am going to stop and wipe my brush out. And what we're going to do next is I've got two pretty bright pink colors. One is called Bright Pink, and the other is Wild Orchid. So I'm going to take my filbert brush, and I'm going to start with the bright pink, and we're going to just kind of dapple some of this bright pink kind of in these darker areas between our pumpkin section. And this may or may not show up but we're just accenting the pumpkin with this pink. We were talking before we started filming today that I do love this kind of pink accent on this pumpkin.
But Andy, there's no pink in real life pumpkins.
Well, maybe there is. Maybe you just haven't seen that special pumpkin.
Maybe.
Maybe this is the great pumpkin that's going to rise from the pumpkin patch.
Did I ever tell you I used to work on a farm that grew pumpkins?
No, you have kept that a secret. I did not know that at all.
Unveiling some layers of the mystery here.
You're not kidding.
Yeah, they grew peas and they grew pumpkins and melons and stuff. And this was like a family friend whose like dad owned the farm.
Uh-huh.
And when I was a kid, I would work out there and get paid to haul this stuff in, pull it from the earth and bring it to a truck.
Well, did they do like the traditional pumpkin patch things?
This was like a little more rural than like,
no opportunity.
This was way out of the way. This was like somewhere in like Notasulga, Alabama. So
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now that I've put some of my bright pink on, we're going to put some wild orchid accents on. And we're just kind of dabbing these on.
Are you trying to picture me working on a farm right now?
I was trying not to. No, I'm sure you were a great farm hand.
I didn't look as much like Machine Gun Kelly back in those days.
I was thinking maybe you looked more like Ebb from Green Acres. You don't remember Green Acres. Well, anyway, Ebb was the Douglas's farmhand on Green Acres.
How do you spell that? I'm going to look this up. You know, low key, I can see it. I was going to try to fight you on this, but...
You can't.
I can't.
And then I'm going to use a number 8 flat brush, and I'm going to paint in the stem with the burnt umber. And this canvas is a little more coarse than I would appreciate, so I've got to work to get that paint down into the fiber of the canvas. Just about got this pumpkin stem base coated in with my burnt umber, and I was able to clean up the top of that pumpkin. And now we're going to shade this pumpkin by picking up a little bit of black on the corner of our brush, and we are going to pat this black next to the pumpkin. So Stephen, did you just work on that pumpkin farm 1 year?
I think I did it 2 or 3 seasons.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a year-round thing for me. Plus, I think, like, they looked at me and knew I would be the weakest link. You know, I didn't look like the other country boys out there. So
that's okay.
Yeah, no, I'm
more
than content with that.
Everybody's not cut out for farm living.
But I did okay.
All right, now we're gonna highlight this pumpkin stem with a little bit of our sunny yellow, picking that up on one corner of this brush. And we're gonna start at the top of our pumpkin stem. So we're gonna pat this light color across the top of our pumpkin stem. And we're also gonna just carry it out on this little tendril. And then we can pat some of this light color down into our pumpkin stem to give it kind of that rough and bumpy appearance. And that, my friends, is how we painted this brightly colored pumpkin. Thanks for watching this episode of Art Talk. If you'd like to, you can leave a comment below, and also make sure to check out the link to our Art Talk kit and the downloadable pattern, which are both in the description box below. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button so you can be notified when we drop a new lesson on Art Talk.